Hi, Simone.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
How is the bootcamp going?
It's going good so far.
Okay.
How are you doing today?
Doing good. And yours?
I'm good too, thank you.
सिमोनजी
Yeah, हजुर.
मैले हजुरलाई टेक्स्ट गरेको थिएँ टिम्समा अनि हजुरले रिप्लाई नै गर्नुभएको थियो। हजुरको डुवट आइडी छ है? सिमोन मोडिस।
मोडिसमा
सिमोन
गर्नुभएको थियो. मोडिस मेरो
हजुर।
कामको इमेल.
मोडिसमा गरेको थिएँ अनि अर्को एउटा पनि थियो त्यसमा पनि गरेको थिएँ। हजुरको रिप्लाई नै आएन। जब सर्चको लागि हजुरको प्रोसेस गर्नुपर्ने थियो। मोडिसमा रिप्लाई गर्न मिल्छ एकचोटि?
हुन्छ, म हेर्छु नि मोडिसमा.
ए हुन्छ हस्।
साइमन सोमल @moris.com मा गर्नुभएको थियो.
हजुर।
मैले भेटेको छैन नि.
simon.chamal@modis.com हजुरले अहिले कुन आइडी युज गरिराख्नु भएको हो त्योबाट एकचोटि मलाई मेसेज गर्न मिल्छ nirusha@takeo.com मा।
nirusha@takeo.com.
हजुर।
हुन्छ.
हुन्छ।
मैले इमेल पठाइदिएको छु है।
ए हस् हुन्छ।
निरुषाजी हाम्रो क्रिसमसमा छुट्टी है 25 मा नो क्लास छैन हैन?
हजुर क्रिसमस त्यो बेला छुट्टी हुन्छ।
ए हुन्छ। त्योभन्दा 24 मा हुन्छ कि हुँदैन? 24 अथवा 26 मा?
24 त स्याटरडे नै होला क्रिसमस सन्डे होइन?
राइट राइट। हजुर हजुर।
24 मा त
ओके।
छुट्टी नै हुन्छ। अनि 23 मा पनि फ्राइडे नै भयो। अनि त्यसले 24 अनि सन्डे चाहिँ छुट्टी हुन्छ 25 मा। हस्।
थ्याङ्क यू।
थ्याङ्क यू। Hello everyone, Gorak will start in 10 minutes. So, till now, as a host, I would like to know the challenges you are facing on Frontend Developer Bootcamp. So, please feed out the this fifth and sixth feedback form. Thank you. I will just put on the chat section. Hello everyone, please fill in the feedback form. Thank you.
यदि व्यवस्था के साथ CCAD पर है ना किन भयो why कहाँ रिजेक्ट हुन्छ न फेरि त सेभ गरेर राख सबै एरिया सेभ गरेर राख
मुकुन्दजी
हेलो
हेलो
हजुर क्लास
हजुरले
एकछिनमा हुन्छ
फिडब्याक फर्म भन्नुभयो
के भन्नुभयो फिडब्याक फर्म
हजुर
फिडब्याक फर्म राम्रो छ गोरखसरको अब त्यही भएर त
हजुर
क्लासले
भन्नु
लेखेको त जति राम्रो भयो भने त्यति नै राम्रो हो होइन
होइन त्यसो भने भन्नुपर्छ त्यसो भयो नि हजुरले भन्नुपर्छ हुन्छ फिफ्थ र सिक्स विकमा के कस्तो भयो सबै लेखिदिनु ल
हस् हस्
अनि मिटिङमा डिस्कसन हुन्छ हाम्रो अनि
ए हस् हस्
हस्
Hello everyone. Are you ready?
हाई गोरख
Hi Nirsa. Hi everyone. So can we start this session, everybody?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So did you try to implement some functionality on the thing that we were doing yesterday? I think I forgot to post the recent commit. I'm seeing, let me share my screen. I have some comments here. Some of them includes the provider, okay, regarding context. So did you somehow try to implement context and some of the things yourself? Did you make some progress, or do you have some questions to discuss before starting?
Yeah, I have some issues with the GitHub. Some reason I've not been able to clone or.
You are not able to clone the project repository. Is that your issue, Mukund? Okay, after we create context, we need to actually remove these props here, like feedback props, the create feedback function and feedback list. We will migrate everything to the context right here. So context is located on the context folder. We are accepting everything here now. Maybe you can put this function else as well. But here from this function, you need to actually set the feedback, which is here. That's why I'm placing this within the context, within the provider. So this is our provider. Actually, at the end, this provider is providing the value from here. The value is only feedback currently. Maybe we can provide more value. So wherever we are passing feedback, we can remove now. Here on the feedback list, we are passing it, right? Maybe we can remove it from feedback list as well. And we need to go there and implement context. We don't need this feedback now. And we will accept that feedback from context using use context hook, right? So use context means something you are accepting the value which is sent from here. Okay, so if you want to accept this value, if you want to consume or use this value in any React component, then you will use context hook there. Okay, so you can use context hook within any components now, because every components are coming into app, finally rendered inside app, and we are providing that context. We are wrapping that provider outside the app. So anything inside app will be used. In the real React application, there may be multiple contexts. For example, feedback provider is only for feedback, something like that. Maybe auth provider is only for sign in and sign up. There may be multiple contexts. So actually, this is slightly not an advantage of context, because we need to create multiple contexts. We need to manage them as well. That's why we will move from context to Redux. Redux is like a single state management library, or it is a single store, or it is everything is located in single location. So we don't need multiple contexts with Redux. Okay, after this context session, we'll see Redux. So currently we only have a single context that is wrapped outside app. Now you can go in any React component, write use context there, and write the name of the context, because I told you that we have multiple context. We may have multiple context in React application, right? Currently we have this feedback context. We want to accept the value passed from the feedback context provider to this feedback list component. So there we are passing feedback inside the object, and I can grab that feedback here. Once again, everything will work. Okay, this is really simple concept. So context is actually providing you the access. It is like a global variable, right? Access of values in any React component. Okay, so any question, guys? You have some confusion or questions? Mukund, you are asking something to me. What's your issue result? Yeah, maybe you are speaking what? Yeah. Okay, let me know if there is an issue. So let's start this app. I'm inside frontend now. I can directly write inside my frontend. I think I have now client here on client, because I think I changed that start script from, what is that? Yeah, from dev to client. Now let's go here. Yeah, I think my screen is gone, right? Somebody's sharing. Mukund, you are sharing your screen. Yes, can you hear me?
Okay.
Everyone?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, Mukund, what was your issue?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. What? Am I getting all your GitHub branches, something like that? I don't see any correspondence here.
Yeah, you cloned it, right? And installed the repos dependencies as well. You need to change the branch. You are inside master. Just change the branch to my branch from your terminal. You need to write git checkout my name, git checkout Gorak there. Yeah. Can you click on that master on the left bottom? There is a master. Can you see it? A master branch.
Default name.
Yeah, are you doing something? I think your screen is not. Yeah, it's like a frozen screen. Guys,
My screen is not visible to you?
It is visible, but are you doing something there? Can you see master on the bottom left?
That's all I see every single time.
Yeah, Mukund, I think your screen is not properly coming here. So maybe we can meet after this session to fix your issue.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. And guys, is my voice clear? Sometimes there is a connection issue from my side as well. Are you hearing properly?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So, yeah, everything is working once again, right? But where is the feedback? Feedback, there is no feedback inside our database, maybe. We have db.json right here inside backend. We have data, but it is not populated initially. Maybe there is some issue.
Maybe we haven't started the server, like the JSON server.
Oh, right. That's right. And did you try to start, I just remember, did you try to start your JSON server as well as your front end at the same time with that package called concurrently? Did any of you try and have some progress? Or are you stuck somewhere? I think maybe I will provide you more day. Maybe you can try today as well. Let me not do this today. So just try to do it yourself first. Try to just install concurrently. So, and just tell me what happened. If it is working, then that's fine. If it is not working, just ask me. I installed the package, but I cannot use it. So that will help me to actually make you understand what is happening there. Okay. So currently, backend, I think, what is the command from inside this package.json server? Okay. I need to use server. Yeah, so it should come now. It will come after 3 seconds. But yeah, okay, it's working. Yeah, see how easy it is to go back into context. We will remove props. So we don't want prop drilling now. Now it is easy. Can I remove this one as well and implement with context? What do you think? Will it be possible?
Sure. We can. We just have to define one more context.
One more context or one more function inside context or something like that. We don't need more context. One context is enough because everything is related to feedback. This is just a functionality inside that context, right?
Is it one more provider?
Provider is also not needed. So there will be single provider for a single context, but value will be different. This is value, right? Like we are providing a single value right now of feedback. I can provide more values here as well. Like let's say let me provide my name here, and this is a string. Now I can accept it anywhere, right? Let me go to any random component, maybe feedback here, and here I can now use context. This is really simple actually. Context and the name of the context, and accept whatever I'm sending, like const. So I will destructure my name here. My name is finally here. So I will display my name inside each and maybe this is car. Maybe here, let's say, or let me. This is just an example to show you how we can actually pass any value and accept in any context. Now, can you see? I have it here. So it means we need to pass more values here. And those values can be accepted from anywhere. This is a feedback. Feedback is a property and a value. This is a property and this is a value. So we are passing multiple values inside an object and accepting it inside any component which are rendered within app component. Currently, every components are rendered within app component, so we can accept this value anywhere. Anywhere means inside any React components, right? Are you getting it?
Since we can like pass the value as an object with multiple keys and multiple values in a single context, why would we need to like create multiple contexts? I mean, we understand that if we intentionally want to separate the context, it makes sense like to have different contexts, one for feedback, one for like some other entities. But like if making multiple contexts is not our intention, then we can like fit everything in one context as well, right?
One context. Yeah, right. This is like if we can write code within a single component, if we can write every code within a single component, then why multiple components are needed, right? Because it helps us to manage those things in better ways. Like if you try to make try to implement every functionalities here, you need to make a lot of states, right? Currently we have only for feedback. Maybe for auth, then you need to make auth state here. Now concern is not separated. Maybe you don't need to actually write auth state here. It will be uh, um, it will always not be used. You are using maybe this is like a main context. Let's say this is a feedback context, is like a main context. Then you are implementing every functionalities into that main context. So sometimes you don't need other functionalities. You only need login functionalities. Then you will separate the concern because you will need to make a state for auth state as well. So we don't want to make that state here because this and the feedback are not related. That's why we will separate the concern. It will help us to manage the code as well. Okay, but with Redux, we will do everything in a single place. We'll see that. All right, any more questions, everyone? The main thing takeaway here is you need to understand what we are trying to achieve here. First thing, then you'll realize what we are doing, right? So we just want to populate these states everywhere. Populate means we just want to accept this state from any React component. First, we tried by passing through props, but we saw that it is slightly difficult, and we are unnecessarily passing through multiple components. Whether we are using or not, we need to pass through those components. There we saw that is not a good approach. It is recognized as prop drilling issue in React. That's why we move to the context, and context is like a global variable where you can have your values. You can pass your values, and that values can be now accepted from any React component using this context hook, use context hook. All right? That's why we are using context here. So now, once again, my question is, how can I now remove this this context, this value from here, this prop from here, implement with context? You have some idea? First of all, I need to send, I don't need delete functionality here. I'll put this delete functionality in the context itself. So I'll cut it from here, go to the context. So let me have this delete feature here. So you can actually create functions as well in separate location, maybe inside context. So this is a delete feedback. Now we don't need this here. So I'll cut it from here. Now we need that function, right? That's why we will pass that function through context now as a value. So here we are going to pass this delete feedback function from here, right? So this is a delete feedback coming from here. Finally, we will go to the component, we removed it from feedback list, right? Here. So I don't need to now accept this delete feedback. Now I will accept it from the context. Delete feedback. Right? And now I will save it. Let's see. Everything should now work, or do I still need to do something? Something is wrong there. After that feedback is coming, application is crashing. So my name, let me remove it. It is not available now. Okay, and refresh it once again. Let's see after 3 seconds. Now everything is working once again. It is really simple, right, to implement everything with context now. So we don't have props here, right? It is really clean. We are not passing props here. We are not accepting any props here. Everything is coming from context. Okay, so now can you do this as well? Add feedback, can I remove it from here and pass it through context? If you follow that steps, then it will work. What should I do? I just want to provide this value. I just want to implement this add feedback with context. It means I want to provide this add feedback from context value and remove this feedback, add feedback from feedback home. What should I do? Please, can you help me? So what are the steps actually to implement something with context? I think you are stuck here, right? Let me know if you have any issue. So if you are not asking me, so I'll not know, right? Or what is the problem that you have? Maybe just ask me anything. I don't actually. I'm happy if you ask me really simple questions. So sometimes, because I'm not explaining those simple concepts, because I don't know if you are facing any issues with really simple concepts, right? That's why you need to ask me. Okay. It means let me once again explain. Okay. What we should do. We need to pass this add feedback through context, right? Context is here. So we have this add feedback here. So first of all, I need to have that add feedback functionality there in order to use. But it is here, right? Add feedback functionality. I need to cut it from here, go and place it inside context. This is context, right? Context provider actually. So now I have this add feedback here. Now I don't need that add feedback here because I don't have it as well. Removing it from here. Now I will pass that add feedback from context. And finally, I will accept that add feedback inside feedback form from context because I'm not passing it through props. I'll remove it from here. And now I'm going to accept it from context using use context hook. So, and the name of the context, feedback context. And from there, what I'm getting is from the context, I just want that add feedback because I may be using that add feedback somewhere here, right? Maybe in where we need to use that add feedback to add some feedback from here inside handle submit, right? Let me see. Oh, yeah. But I think why did I just commented it here maybe. Currently I'm not able to add, or is it already implemented here? Add feedback. is not passed from context. So I need to actually accept it now first. Let me accept it first inside this feedback form. Oh, okay, create feedback, and here is add feedback. And add feedback will be used here. Here is a create feedback. I have two functions, add feedback and create feedback. What are these two doing? Maybe I will look at the app and maybe you will know. Create feedback. Okay, create feedback is for posting your data to the database. So add feedback is for rendering your data here, right? That's why we need both of them. So once again, it should work, right? If we have our data here, let's try deleting some data from here. It's taking too much time, I don't know. Delete functionality should work, but it is not working. Delete is not working. We didn't tested it. It is not working. We'll see. Let's see with add feedback, adding new feedback is coming here. Add feedback is working, but that delete feedback is not working. Let's see what is happening there. With delete feedback, we are passing this delete feedback here, and delete feedback is required where? It is required. There is one takeaway now. It is required here actually, delete feedback. But we are accepting it, the delete feedback from feedback, maybe feedback list here, right? Delete feedback, delete feedback. So delete feedback is not needed here in this component actually. We are not using it. We are just passing through props once again because we are removing prop drilling. We will remove it from here as well. Remove it from here. Delete feedback is actually required inside this component feedback. We will accept the particular value which is required inside particular component. So use context, and the context name is feedback context. And from that context, we will accept that delete feedback. Now I don't need this delete feedback here because we are not receiving it. But once again, let's see if it is working or not. I don't know it will work or not. It will not work once again. Let me see. It is not deleting that, right? Adding feedback, not deleting. So let's see what is the issue here. Maybe we can sometimes see in the console and directly find out the issue. Sometimes there is a problem here. Actually, the delete feedback is not required. Delete feedback from DB is required actually. So delete feedback from DB. Okay. Where is that delete feedback from DB? It is coming from feedback context. Okay, let me go there. Inside delete feedback, I need to have one more, I think, there. I need to go to feedback context. And inside delete feedback, we are using delete feedback from DB. Okay, where is that delete feedback from DB coming from? It is actually inside app.jsx, and it is here. I need to place this one as well into that context. All right, now it should work. Let's try. Okay, once again not working. Let me see on the console what just happened here. Nothing is happening, I think. So okay, some feedback, but I think it is deleted, right? Let's see the database as well at the same time. I just want to delete this some feedback. Let's see what happens. Okay. It is what is happening here? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think the last one is okay. Something is wrong with our delete logic here. Okay, it is deleted from here. New feedback, but not rendered here. Something is wrong there actually. It is not rendering that delete feedback in real time. Okay, so what do you think? What should be the issue? Maybe inside, let's go inside feedback context. Oh, we are not setting it here as well. We need to set it, right? Because if you are not setting it, then your data will not be updated in real time that we are seeing there. Right now it will work. So if I click here, then this should be deleted and it should be deleted from your UI as well. Okay. It is taking time there, but it is actually working. It is taking maybe because of the delay. Okay, so once again, everything is working because we don't have any data. It is really loading and loading all the time. Data is not coming actually. So maybe, yeah, we can add it. All right, so finally, let's remove the final and we are making it clean. Let's remove this create feedback from here as well. We don't need to pass it from here. I'm going to remove it. It's really simple. Look how simple it is. To implement this create feedback with context, where is this create feedback? Here. So I'm going to remove it from here, right? And cut this, put this to the context, remove it from there as well, from here as well. We don't need to accept it anymore and accept it here. And this is all. This is everything we need to do actually to create a feedback. So we implemented that particular create feedback feature with context now. Let's see once again. Creating feedback and it's working. So we implemented it with context. Now we actually don't need, are we using update feedback here? Oh, this is for you, right? This is a to-do task. All right, so yeah, this is everything with context. This is just a value. Maybe you can remove it from here. Feedback app is just a static text. Maybe you can do is just write feedback text here. Okay. So this is all about context. We have simple components now. We don't need to fetch it here as well because we are using it inside context, I think. Let's see. Inside use effect, we are fetching it. So we don't need there. We don't need this use effect there as well. And you need to implement these two functionalities, update and init fetch feedback is already done. So we don't need this state as well. What you need to do now is remove this from here as well. Put it into context and implement this functionality. This is not done until now. This needs to be done. Okay, so look how clean our app component is going to be now. So we are accepting those components only here and rendering it directly. We are not passing any props. We don't have any state. We don't have any prop here. And everything is controlled from context now. We can actually make it better as well. Maybe you can create another file and place these functions there as well. All right. Is this fine, everyone? Any questions? So let me just ask you how you are feeling about the current project. Do you have some issue? Maybe Daya, do you want to ask me something? Are you getting context that we are doing here? Is it making some sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah, do you have difficulties implementing sometimes at your one?
Yeah, I'm still like, I think I need to go and do by myself.
Oh yeah, okay, then yeah, it will take time as well because we are moving ahead. We need to recap all the previous concepts as well. Yeah, just let me know if you have some issue while implementing it. So yeah, Bina, are you? I think it is Bina Gimiri. What about you? Are you getting it properly? Context, understanding context, or the current project? Or do you have some suggestion for me as well? Maybe she's not available. I can see others as well. Yeah, please. I think it is Sahas. Is that
Hi,
you?
Guruk.
Yeah.
Yes, I just lost track of the flow of the context. Um, Seems like we just have one file under the folder context. It's feedback context, and it's just like two lines, right? And then
Okay.
there we are not doing anything, but we're just creating a context. And like you mentioned that th this would act something like a component itself with a global variable, and like we are using it in main.jsx, and
Yeah.
using the provider there. That makes sense as well because app is being rendered there in main.jsx, and if we are able to wrap the app component inside the feedback context, then the value that would provide would be available throughout all the components in the app. But like, where were we like providing the value again? Because previously we were like saying provider value equals something, and then like would be using the context and then like giving the name of the context and would be like fetching the value, right?
Yeah. So you mean previously, let's go to the previous one first. In state management, you mean we have provided here and we are providing value to app here, right? App
Yes,
component.
exactly. Yeah.
But currently we are not providing value to directly to app component, something like that, where that value is going, right?
Yes.
Because if you see here inside app, we don't have value, right?
Yes, there is no value being passed.
So yeah. So if I told you, just go inside feedback context and this children is that app component, will you understand? Is this children app component?
Yes, that makes sense now because like in my branch, like I didn't have this code at all. Like seems like I was behind like few commits because in my feedback context.jsx I just have import create context and then export const feedback context equals create context.
Yeah.
I'll just do git fetch. This
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense now, Gaurav. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, we are just wrapping it. Actually, we can write all of this code inside main.jsx as well, but we are making it clean as well. Main.jsx mean to be uh, a clean file where we are rendering app and we have some provider here, and everything regarding provider is here. So we are passing that app to our provider. This children is app actually. This is a children of feedback provider, and this is a feedback provider component. And we are accepting children, which is app component. We are rendering it now. So writing children here is actually writing app here. We cannot write it directly, but it is coming actually. So that's why it is now, the value is now going from the app component. Yeah. Any more question? Anybody? All right then. Yeah, guys, I'm waiting for you. Okay, just try to have some progress from your side. Try to do something with this create feedback. So actually, create feedback, I think we have already done it. Sorry about that. I think I mean to say update feedback. So try to use it. Try to see the documentation first. If you don't know, then at least just try it. Okay, I just don't want you to be succeed here. I just want you to try it first so that I can know what is the problem. If you try it, then it will have some result, right? It is like a promise. So you are making some promise to me. Maybe you will succeed or it will fail. But at least let me know what is the status. I'll be waiting for one more day. So maybe we'll complete it tomorrow. And yeah, there is another popular package. Maybe usually in daily life, or I mean to say in the real React project, we will not be using this fetch a lot of time. A lot of time there will be a popular package. Do you know what that is?
Axios.
Yeah, right. Axios. So, oh, sorry. This is another similar implementation over fetch. Behind the scene, it is using fetch or XML HTTP request, those things. So Axios is a most popular one. I am also using it in my current project. So it is the replacement of fetch. With Axios, we can do something more. You can see like difference between fetch and sometimes Axios. Let's see. Let's see this Stack Overflow as well. So if you want to use Axios, then you will use this syntax. Instead of writing fetch, you'll write Axios. You don't need to write get for get request. Axios and the URL. Here it is using it. Then we are accepting the promise, consuming the promise. So we are doing it in 2 lines. See, 1 line, 2 line. So if you want to do it with fetch, you'll do this way, fetch and 1 line, 2 line. So why 2 then here? Because here the data will be coming in the form of in JSON format. We need to convert back to JavaScript object, and that's why we are using once again another promise. We are creating another promise, and this is accepted here. So it is not this is slightly not needed, right? What if JavaScript will handle behind the scene, convert that JSON to JavaScript object? That will be great. So that is done by Axios actually. You don't need to write to them there. It will be directly converted to your JavaScript object instead of that JSON value. Okay, so yeah, and you will install fetch. Fetch is just a package, right? You can find in npm.js all the time or npkg. You can look at any of the package manager. So just search for Axios here, and this is actually most popular one. See how popular it is. The weekly downloads are really high. So there is a documentation as well. Every package will have documentation, otherwise we will not know. Okay, I don't also know many packages which are popular. I still need to see the documentation and implement myself. So actually nobody knows at first. Once they start practicing, after 1 month, 2 month, we will get a little bit familiar with the package, but we still have documentation. Then we don't need to worry, right? If you just know the concept, if you know why it is required, then that's all. You will have full documentation how to use it. You can look at it and implement it yourself. So you will just install Axios, and you will just import it, and you'll just use it. It's really simple. Okay, so here is a simple documentation. So we are importing Axios here. Axios is imported here, and then it is used somewhere, maybe here as well. It is used here. So yeah, the other difference are, let's see here. Yeah. So there are other benefits of Axios as well. You can see the post request for fetch, right? Can you find some difference there with this one and with this one? We are using Axios here. We are using fetch here. So with fetch we are passing URL. With Axios, we need to pass that URL as well. Here is the URL. Here is the option, and we are passing directly option here. Maybe not. The URL part is also required. Let's do it ourselves then. Otherwise, let me just show you by just implementing it here. That will make more sense, I think. It's really simple. The name is Axios. Just go in your React project and install it. I need to go inside feedback first. And inside feedback, I need to go to Frontend. Inside Frontend, I will now install that package. Right? And you can just see the documentation here, how to use that package. Maybe examples here. Here is an example. So let's go and replace that first fetch. So we are using fetch here inside our context. So fetch feedback. Let's remove this to Axios. Let's import Axios as well. You'll need to import Axios as well. So we have this Axios now, which is fetching our data. I told you we don't need this now. This is directly data. So let's see what is coming inside the lab here. And let's see if it is working or not. Okay, something is wrong. Something is not working. See in our console. Okay, feedback.reduce is not a function. Something is happening there, but let's first see what is coming from here. Line number 13 is this one. It is an object actually. So you can see this is not actual data. It is inside an object, and inside that object we have another data there. So what you can do is restructure it here. So let me save it once again. It should work now. Yeah, it is working. There was some issue previously. The prop text is undefined header, but its value is undefined. Maybe, oh yeah, it is marked as required. There inside our header component, previously we validated our props, right? Inside common, inside header, we said that we will accept the headers which should have that text, and it is required. You can remove it from here and that it will go. Yeah, so to use Axios, it is really simple, right? We have this Axios here. So we actually saved this line of code. We don't need to write it. All right, so just try to see if you can also use Axios and replace a fetch from everywhere and see what are the other things coming and benefits of Axios. Okay. So this is the another package which is really important, okay, for real project. Fetching your data from API. Most of the time you'll use Axios instead of fetch. All right, then let me finally commit everything. So for now, I will stop it here. I will stop it. You need to first see CSS yourself as well. as well as all of those things that are in to-do list, and just try to use some more package, try to install some package from here. Maybe you can install that concurrently from here inside your project and implement it yourself. Maybe I'll wait for you, and we'll come back to it. Okay, for now I just want to commit it. So do you have some questions, guys, before? No questions? All right. So this is regarding, we did a lot of things here. Implemented everything with context and install Axios, right? Or migrated to context. Just add this commit message. Oh, what happened there? I don't know. Maybe I need to re-authenticate once again. Okay. Maybe actually I did some setting change there. That may be the reason it is not going in. Okay, I'll just send back to GitHub. It is not going because I have not connected to GitHub. So this was fresh installation yesterday. There are some settings changed. I'll just send this to GitHub and you can grab it from there. And we are now moving to the different concept now. So we just want to see some of the things regarding types in JavaScript, because previously we used these prop types. Why did we use this one previously?
For validation purpose.
Right, to validate these values here, to validate the values. We are making this string. So now if you pass a text with a number, then what will happen? If you have a text with a number, then your application will crash.
It will like send it console error.
Yeah, it will send console error.
Yeah.
It is really important. Application will not crash there sometimes. Maybe it can crash if there is no data, but with just type change, it will not crash. Then we don't know, right? We are writing something string here, and let's say that some number is coming. So text should be string, but I'm passing 100 here. And if I save it now, 100 is coming there. So what is the issue then? How should we know? Right? We need to go to console. That is not good, right? Then what you are doing here is making some mistakes, compiling your application, running it, seeing the output. Finally, you realize something is wrong there and open the console, and you are seeing the issue here in the console. Okay, currently it is not validating our text as well. Why that might be? It should validate, since this is a default value, we are not passing it from our component. So it is also not validating this default value here. Actually, it was used previously when TypeScript is not that much. TypeScript is already popular from many years ago, but this prop types package I have seen in many projects. The prop types package is used to validate props, but nowadays I'm not seeing this prop types package is used that much, because it is not that much easy for us to track issues, find issues. Application is still working, we need to see here to have some issue, so to just find some issue and finally correct them. That's why we will now implement TypeScript with React. And if you don't know TypeScript and if you are a React developer, then I think that is incomplete. So there is less chance that you will work somewhere in some project. So TypeScript is like what we call, it is compulsory to have some conceptual knowledge. If you don't have professional experience, that's fine. But if you just have basic knowledge, why we need TypeScript, how can we just implement TypeScript in React project, that's fine. You don't have to be professional there, but you need to know the concept there. So, and another thing is testing. So if you don't know TypeScript as well as testing the React components, then you are incomplete. So that's why these are really important. So let's see what is TypeScript, why we need TypeScript. TypeScript is another programming language as well, but it is a superset of JavaScript. Superset of JavaScript means everything you are doing here until now will work in TypeScript as well. But we need to do something more there. Since it is a superset, it will give you some more features. And that feature is a type feature, which is not there in JavaScript. Other programming language like Java or C or C#, C++, there you cannot create a variable which is initially string, later it is object. You cannot do that, right? It should be either string, it should be either object. You need to declare it there. So, but here we are creating a variable. We are not declaring the type. What is the data type? Is it a string? Is it going to be a number? Is it going to be an array? What is the type? If you are not defining the type, it is flexible. So if something is flexible, then it can do something that you don't want to do, because it is flexible, right? It can do something more. Sometimes it will do something that you don't actually intentionally want to do. So that's why it is a disadvantage of JavaScript. It is a loosely typed programming language. That's why we will implement TypeScript with JavaScript. You can say TypeScript with React. That will make your project slightly strong. You can say robust as well, and error-free as well. You can track a lot of errors with TypeScript. And you will see error right here in VS Code. You don't need to go in console. If that error is here, your application will crash. It will not work. So while you are writing here, you will see error right here. Okay. So let's go and first of all, yeah, we can do it here as well, I think. So I'm going to create a new folder. You can create your own folder somewhere else and just open it with VS Code. Okay. Guys, do you have some questions for me? So let's go with TypeScript basics. Here, I just want to create a script.js file. Right? So just create an empty folder. In there, create this script.js, and you can actually run this with you can run this directly here in the console. So just create this empty folder. In there, just create script.js. Okay, that's all we need. So let me wait you for a minute. Just create. Oh, you can close the current project, start it in new project, or you can create another folder and start it there. All right. So let me just wait you for a few moments and we'll start together. All right, everyone. So let's do it with TypeScript. So yeah, currently I just have a JavaScript file here, and we don't have React now. You can stop the current project as well. Let me remove this all terminal from here. So this project is not required now. Let's see with TypeScript. So I don't also need the browser now because there is no index.html. If there is no index.html, we don't need browser, right? And I just want to go inside this folder called TypeScript basics, or let's say plain TypeScript, something like that, because we will not implement TypeScript with React right here. Later we will have React TypeScript. So let's see. We go to plain TypeScript. Yeah. So can you run this file, this script.js from your console, or you can see your terminal? Can you do that? Yeah, I find everyone keeps silent when we are reaching slightly middle or at the end of the session, depending upon my experience from the previous session as well. We are more energetic when we are starting the bootcamp, but during the mid section or during the end of the bootcamp, most of you keep silent. So maybe yeah, maybe there is a lack in some practice. So yeah, you can ask me some questions. Okay, sometimes if you ask me some question, maybe it will increase your confidence. Yeah, this is just my guess. Please let me know if you have some issue. Maybe we can help each other. So how can we run this from here, from the terminal? I just want to run this script.js from the terminal.
Maybe node and file name.
Yeah, right. With Node.js, we will run JavaScript. Node.js is an engine. You can say it will it will help you to run JavaScript code. So actually, your browser will have their engine as well. So Chrome is actually having a V8 engine. In their V8 engine, they use Node.js to run JavaScript. So actually, Node.js is mostly needed instead of browser. Node.js is mostly needed in the server side. Currently, you can assume this as your server, because with your server, you will not have your browser, right? With the server, you will need some engine, because V8 engine is not actually Node.js. It is an implementation of for browser. Every browser, like Safari, have their different engine. Like Mozilla Firefox has different engine. Implementation is same. So but in the server we will use Node.js. So here you can treat it like a server, because there is no browser here, right? That's why we will use Node here to run your browser code, because on the browser is helping you to run, but here you'll need to use Node and write script.js. This will actually compile run this, execute this this script.js. Let's see. Console log. Just checking if it is working or not. Yeah. So we will use this terminal now, because we don't have browser here. We don't have index.html. Okay. So what I was trying to say is, if I have this variable like country, let's say, once again, so what is the data type for this variable, guys? Can you tell me what is the data type?
String.
It is a string, right? So do you have some idea how we can check, how we can print the data type here on the console? If you don't know the data type, how we can check it, check the data type?
Type of. Can use type of function. Console log type of. Then you pass in country.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So here is a function called type of. So you will pass your variable in this function, and you will actually now see the type of the particular variable in your console here. So sometimes we don't know. Maybe if some data is coming from your API, then you may not know, right? Or but most of the time we will declare it within React with TypeScript application. But if you just want to check the data type, sometimes you want to conditionally check, right? Let's say that you are having two data type and with the same variable, then you want to check whether that is a string or a number, right? Just a second, guys. Just give me a few. Yeah. Okay. So then if I write age here, 30, then the type is number here, right? This is a data with the data type is number. You can always check with that type of function. Yeah. And just pass your variable there. And or you can just directly pass your values as well. Or you can use this actually the type of is used with, you can write type of and just write the name here instead of writing that function syntax. It will work. So let's see. Yeah, it is a number. So let's create another one. So what is the data type here? If I write ARR here, what will be the data type? Array.
Object.
Yeah, correct. Object. So I told you many times, array is nothing but object. That array is just an implementation of object. It is object actually. So everything, I told you yesterday, everything apart from your primitive values are objects in JavaScript. Even function is an object. So if you see the data type here, you'll see object, right? So you need to make sure. An object will be object. Let's not do that. And finally, yeah, if you just type create a function, I think it will print you function. Let's try with function as well. So this is a simple function, right? Function name is age, let's say, or age is already there. Calc age, it will calculate your age. Let me directly let me store it in some variable, maybe. Or we have this calculus already. Let me check this one here. And if I run this in script.js, I told you that this is also an object, right? Let's see. And you can see function here. So it is providing you function, but it is implemented with object actually. So let me show you how it is implemented, how we can actually, how this function is created. There is one concept, then we'll come back to it. So actually in JavaScript, what we can also do is we can create object from function. So if you have some function like country, then we can actually there is a concept like object-oriented programming in JavaScript as well. So we can create objects with the help of the function as well. So such kind of functions are called constructor functions. So the constructor functions are written mostly in this capital letter, usually in the capital letter. So if you go, let's first see. This is also needed sometimes in React, but this is not that much needed because React implements functional programming instead of object-oriented programming. So let's see constructor function in JavaScript. So here you can see this is a function, right? And it is accepting some parameters, and here it is using this keyword. So this is slightly confusing here. So let me do in the same way as well. Let's put this VS Code on the left side so that we can see. So what we will do is accept something here, like country population in this pop value, and here we will use this keyword. Actually, this keyword will point to the object later. We are going to create an object from here. We'll see that. So let's say population is equals to this. We are creating a population variable, population property to the object having this value. Now what you can do is you can create your object. Now we just want to create our object. So const, let's say Nepal equals, now we will use something like new keyword here. So new keyword is used to create object from this function. We are using this function to create object. Our main goal is to create object from here, from the function. So this is the name of the constructor function. And inside this constructor function, we will pass the value of this population. Let's say like just random, let's say 30 million. So let me print this Nepal then in console. And if I run this, can you see? This is actually now country is, this is the name of the constructor function, and this is object actually. We are creating object. So this is object. So we can create object from the constructor function with the help of new keyword. There are inbuilt constructor functions as well in JavaScript, like we can create our array from the constructor function called array, which is already there. And now we will pass some value here. And if you console log this array, you will see this is an array. You can either create array with this syntax, or you can directly write 1, 2, 3, 4. But behind the scene, it is using this constructor function, which is written in JavaScript, which is helping you to create array. Okay, so what are you doing here? You are essentially creating an object. That's why array are objects as well. Okay, so yeah, sometimes you will see this new keyword. New keyword is there, which will help you to create object from some inbuilt function or the function you have created. We can also do something like this. So let's say this is once again name, let's say, and what we are doing is new string. And here again, we are using this string constructor function and passing this value here, similar to this we created previously country constructor function. Here we have in string constructor function already there in JavaScript. We are just using it here, passing this value, now what we are doing is creating an object that is actually string. Let's print it, and you can see this is string and it is like an array now. That's why string sometimes acts as an array. We are using some property of array, right? With string previously, if you remember. Can you do something like this with a string? This name is a deprecated keyword. That's why it is underlined here. Maybe you can use flex here. Can you do this with a string?
Yes.
It's because they are now acting like an array here. They are created from this constructor function. Here at this moment, this is non-primitive value. This is object actually. I told you string is primitive value, but when you try to do this, then it is now becoming non-primitive value. Okay, when you this is I'm just telling you because you'll see this new keyword sometimes and you'll just see a constructor function, and this will make some confusion. What is this syntax? We have never seen, right? There is popular one called new set. Here what you can do is pass number 4, once again 1 2 3 4, maybe 1 2 3 then. So let's store in this unique variable, and let's console log unique here. Everything is currently regarding JavaScript here. Okay, we are not looking at the React concept. Okay, something is wrong there. Maybe I missed. Oh, okay, I need to pass it inside an array here, right? Because that set will accept that array. And what set is doing is creating unique variable, unique value. So if you want to just find unique value from repeating value, then you'll use a constructor function called set, which is already there in JavaScript. These are already available constructor functions, you can say, right? From where you can create an object. So we can create our own with this syntax as well, but they are already created. Mostly we will use them, those constructor functions which are already created. All right. So there are others as well. Just try others like new date or new map as well. I think map. Let's see. Not sure. I think map is a constructor function as well. Yeah. So yeah, just try to see this constructor functions and what we can do with them. Okay. Most of the time we will not use this. You will use set date map most of the time. So that's why I was what I was saying previously is okay. And another thing is the type of this function will give you type function, not object. Okay, you need to make sure at that time as well. But behind the scene, everything is implemented with object. So these are the available types in JavaScript. Maybe let's see some more types. Maybe console log type of. Let's directly see type of undefined. This is a primitive value. Sometimes we need to check type of undefined in our project. If that is undefined, if the type is undefined, and the type of undefined is also undefined. Sometimes you'll be confused. Okay, the type of undefined is not function or object. It is undefined. And there is one problem actually in JavaScript. It is implemented in this way. It shouldn't be actually, but the type of null, sometimes it is asked in interview as well. So null is nothing actually, right? There is nothing. But if you see the type of null, you'll see it is object. So actually this is a bug in JavaScript, but the type of null is object. Sometimes if you are checking the type of null, just make sure that it is going to be object. So just you need to implement in that way. All right. So, but null is not an object, but it is showing you type of null is object. Okay, so I think that's all for this type. Now let's move to the TypeScript. So what is the thing regarding TypeScript then? Let me try to make a file called app.ts. To actually run this file, you need to install TypeScript in your device. So just go and search TypeScript. And what you can do is, or you can just search install TypeScript. You can install TypeScript globally on your device. Okay. So maybe I'm looking for a clean documentation where we can follow it. Yeah, this is the command actually you need to use. And yeah, this is all. What you need to do is you can either use yarn or npm. That's fine. Okay. If you want to use yarn, that's also fine. You can use npm as well. Just use this command, npm install -g TypeScript. That will be this will install TypeScript on your device. If you do not use Z, this will install TypeScript on your project. G means global. So you need to install TypeScript first to use TypeScript, right? And we will use a command called tsc to compile your TypeScript code to JavaScript, because your browser will not understand TypeScript. This is really important. TypeScript is there only while you are developing your application. Finally, you need to compile your code back to JavaScript. So TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript. You need to compile your code written in TypeScript back to JavaScript if you want to see your output. You cannot see output coming from TypeScript directly. Okay, popular package environment like Create, React App, Vite, they do it behind the scene. You don't have to set up anything there. But right now, you need to first install it, and we'll use this command together. Is that fine? Are you able to install TypeScript on your system? So you need to use this command. Let me send this command to you on the chat section, okay? Yeah, let me know if you can install it or not. So previously I asked you to create a folder because we want to use TypeScript here. So guys, are you able to install TypeScript on your system? Nishan, what about you? Maybe Ashish? Oh, great. I think
Yeah,
Peter is done.
yeah, it's installed.
All right. Then create a folder like app.ts, something like that. You need to have an extension called TS instead of JS. So we will write TS for TypeScript, JS for JavaScript. Okay. Now let's go inside TypeScript. Let me write something here. So with JavaScript, what you can do is, if you have your age created with late keyword, later you can change it, right? Now what you can do is age equals to 30. Type is now changed here. This is a number. This is a string. Not only that, you can completely change into different types like 1, 2, 3, different data as well. Everything is fine, right? With JavaScript. This is the default behavior of JavaScript. But let me try to do the same thing in TypeScript. Paste it here. I will copy this code and just paste into TypeScript. And now you can see I have an error directly inside my VS Code here while I am writing my code. This will crash your application. This will not compile your application when you are running it, when you are running in live server. So what happened here is, if you hover over here, cannot redeclare a block scoped variable is. Okay, actually this is coming from here. Let me close this. Okay, So actually this is because these two files are sharing the information. So this is fine. Line number 1 is fine. Line number 2, it says the string is not assignable to type number. Can you see? This is what we need. This is actually provided by TypeScript. That's why TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript. Now it has added typed feature for our JavaScript project. You can see, right? Now you cannot do this. You cannot change this. You cannot have a value which is not a number. You can have a value which is a number. It will work. It will work perfectly, but you cannot write a value which is not a number. All right. So now, in order to run this file here on your console, you need to first compile it. You cannot run your TypeScript file directly. So what we do is we will use a command called tsc. It is a TypeScript compiler. You will use a command called tsc and just write your file name, TypeScript file name, which is app.js. Sorry, app.ts. Now, if you hit enter, it is going to compile this file and it will generate a corresponding JavaScript file here. Can you see it? And now here is a compiled JavaScript file generated from your TypeScript file. Now you can run this JavaScript file here. Now we can write node app.js. Okay, so these are the steps. TypeScript is just there to help you write code without errors or helping you to check your types. But you finally need to compile it back to JavaScript. And then you will run that JavaScript code. All right, guys, any questions until now? Are you able to compile this file yourself?
Yes.
It says command is not found.
What is not found, Mugan?
tsc.app.ts command is not found.
Oh, it is not found in your system. Means you have you installed it? Installed TypeScript?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Then
what happened?
Link.
Can you share your screen?
Like where? Yeah, sure.
And anybody else facing same issue, guys? Just ask me, okay? Then I'll know so that I can help you. Yeah, Mugan, let's see what happened there.
Do you see this?
Yeah, TSC. No, you need to have one space after TSC. You are writing, I think, tsc.app.ts. Can you type it once again? TSC space app.ts.
Right. tsc dot
No dot. TSC and space. After TSC, you need to have one space.
tsc app dot ts.
Yeah. Yeah, you have one error, right? Because you have. Can you close that script.js script.js from above the tab which is opened, script.js? You can cross that. As well as what is the another issue that you have? I think it is just because of that script.js. You have script.js tab just below run, right? Just close that one.
Which one?
Yeah, it will work now. You can run it now.
I go to TSC app ts.
Oh, you still have error. Can you expand your terminal? Let's see what happened there. Can you scroll above, please? I think your screen is slightly, yeah, okay. It says, where is, can you type that once again? tsc app.ts.
Yes.
Okay, you don't have, because you need to go inside that folder. Just type cd and go into that folder, TypeScript basis. You are outside that folder, I think. Yeah, type cd space name of the folder, TypeScript. Yeah. cd space, you can type TypeScript there, TypeScript, and press tab. It will auto-complete your folder name there. You can press tab now on your keyboard.
That's not sure.
Or you can type it, TypeScript hyphen basic.
CD. Hyphen basic. No such file. What is this? Isn't this file or folder?
Oh,
This is, I think, folder.
what happened there?
Their
Yeah,
TypeScript basic is a folder.
it is a folder. Yeah, you can
That's why it's
just
not
open
happening.
that folder directly with VS Code. You are creating two folders there. You can close this VS Code now and open that folder with VS Code, the TypeScript basic only. Yeah, you can just click that file as well. Click on file and open that particular folder. Yeah, there is no issue actually. The folder location is incorrect from your terminal. It will work. Okay.
We need to have this one, right?
No, can you close this VS Code first? Completely close it.
The whole VS Code.
Yes. And where is that folder that you created? Can you go into that folder first?
It's right here.
Yeah, open it. Open it right there in the inside Explorer. Yeah, now you have another folder there, right? So can you open this folder with VS Code? You need to open this one. No, it will not work from here, I think. Can you go, can you
I
just
went
open
to-
VS Code first?
Yeah, I opened from here.
Yeah, just click on that file and click on open.
Open.
Yeah, open folder.
TypeScript.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, click on select folder now. Okay, now try writing the command in the terminal. tsc space app.ts.
Yes. TSC. Dot. Yes.
Yeah, app.ts. Okay, fine. Yeah, it compiled your project, right? Now you can see app.js there.
Okay.
Yeah, it is working now.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
All right. And so anybody else, guys? Are you facing some issue? So yeah, TypeScript is just there to have type guard. You are guarding your variable type, so that you cannot change that type later. Now TypeScript is actually interesting one. So TypeScript allows you to do more things actually. it will help you to track your errors in the application. If you have TypeScript, there is a great benefits to track errors in your application. So let's see some of the features from TypeScript. Maybe let's take some break and let's explore some more things regarding TypeScript. Maybe we have something called inference or annotation, type annotation, and we will try to see, try to have multiple types within a single variable. We'll try to explore those concepts. Maybe type interface as well. We have something called type interface, which is widely used when we later create React application with TypeScript, right? So can we go in break now? And maybe we'll meet after 10 minutes. Okay, so, okay guys, I'm going to meet now. So let's meet after 10 minutes. Hello everyone. Can we resume now? Ready? Are you here?
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. I want to share you one clip. I think I have it or not. Okay, I will attach in the bootcamp portal the resource regarding TypeScript. There you will find. But let's first see the basics here. So with TypeScript, you can have multiple types as well. What you can do is sometimes TypeScript know itself, right? Here TypeScript is knowing the type itself. It is a number. TypeScript is knowing that it is a number. But what if you try to make it a string? Okay, with TypeScript, what we will do is you will write colon after your variable name and you will write the data type here. Now, what is happening here? Can you guess why this error is here? Why do you think there is error now? Previously, there was no error, right?
Because we are assigning like number value to string. Is it so?
Correct. We are assigning number value to a string because we are saying here ourselves that this should be a string, but we are passing the value to be number. So that's why it is error here. So we are ourselves declaring the type here. So this is called type inference. So let's see. Type inference and annotation. Quickly see. So type inference means I think I use this term in opposite way. So type annotation. So we are annotating something here. So it is not inferring the value, it is annotating. We are annotating ourselves, the value here. That's why it is called type annotation. So type inference means the type will be inferred automatically. Previously, type was inferred automatically by TypeScript, right? Using type inference. So if you are not writing it, if you are not writing a string, still it is a string because it is inferring its type now. We are not annotating here ourselves, right? It is inferring the type. That's why it is type inference. So you can either annotate or you can either infer. Sometimes TypeScript cannot infer itself the type automatically. For example, let's say that you want to store number and string only. Okay, you only want to store number and string. You don't want to store anything else like function, array, or object. You don't want that. At that time, what we will do is we will annotate the type ourselves. So here, what we will say is we want it to be a number as well as, okay, there will be one at a time. So it means either number or string. So we will write this operator and now we'll write string here. This is like OR operator here. So it is like union. Can you say? It is either taking number or a string. Now you have a union of number and string. So now your value can be either number or a string, but it cannot be an array now. If you have array here, it will not work. Now here is one more type guard. For example, sometimes say that you are taking inputs from the user. At that time, the inputs coming from the user will be in the string format, but you want it to be a number. So you will accept a string, later you will convert number. So at that time, you will accept both string and number. That might be case. Okay, now we can restrict the type. So we have two things here. One is type annotation and another one is type inference. So whatever we are doing here currently is type annotation. Previously, there was type inference. For example, if I write const, so my name
Let's say this is type. Format this. This is type inference. So TypeScript is knowing itself the type of this my name is string. What you can do is just hover over your variable there, and you'll see its type. Oh, there is one thing which is interesting here. Can you see? It is not showing you string, it is showing you Alex. But if you make this let keyword, then it will show the type of this my name to be string now. Why do you think previously it was showing the type, the name itself, with that const keyword?
Is it because it's not
that was
changing,
final,
so
so cannot change again?
That's correct. It cannot change again. It cannot change again. And TypeScript will actually take the value, and the value will be the type for const variable, because it cannot change later, right? So you can only put Alex here, which is here. You cannot put anything else later. But can I do this like my name, and once again can I put this value here? Can I do this? I'm not allowed, right? Because this is a string. This is a string, and we cannot put this here. And with const keyword, we cannot do the mutation as well. So that's why it is type the variable name value actually here. This is intentional actually, because you cannot rechange this later. Okay, but with let keyword, you'll see the type to be a string. It means you can accept some more, right? For example, if you previously I was trying to access an array, not possible, but with this union operator, like if I write object here, now it is possible. This is really interesting, right? So these are two important concepts in TypeScript. Most of the time, your type will be inferred, but sometimes you need to annotate yourself. So type annotation is done here, right? With this colon operator, you will write the type of the particular variable, and you will annotate itself yourself actually. But if your type is not written there, TypeScript will try to assign the type, and it will try to infer the type. That's why it is now showing the type to be string here. Okay. So sometimes you don't want to initialize, you don't want to actually initialize any value to your variable. Let's have the similar variable here. Let's say you have a color variable. And where is the value now? There is no value, right? So there is no value means what will TypeScript do here? Can you guess? What will be the type? Will it be an array or number or string or function? What will be the type? Because TypeScript will always try to annotate. Yeah, a number. Why this color should be a number? There is no value.
Yeah, the hierarchy of the annotations.
The hierarchy. There is no such hierarchy in type annotation.
It's any is like anything, right? It's right in the second screen. Oh, like the browser tab.
Yeah.
We can see the any type.
But what is any then? Is there such kind of type do we have in JavaScript any? We didn't see that previously, right?
Maybe we can
have
use
a
any
string number. Yeah.
Maybe we can use anything data type.
Yeah. So any is a special data type which is only available in TypeScript, not in JavaScript. Any is not there in JavaScript. That's why I told you TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript. Everything in JavaScript is here, but now type is added, any type. Any means now it will accept anything. It is like your JavaScript. Your JavaScript will also accept anything, right? Am I correct? Your JavaScript variable will accept any type, right? Are you getting what I'm saying? Here we have age, which is a number. Now we have age, it is accepting a string. Now we have age, it is accepting an array. Means your JavaScript variable can accept any data type, right?
Yes.
So essentially what we are doing here is going into JavaScript. So writing this is, there is a special data type in TypeScript which is called any. Any is nothing but you are essentially going into JavaScript. Now you are free. You can assign any data type. For example, if I have color, which is red, it is fine now. Color red, it is a string, but it's still, oh sorry, this is actually the variable value. Still, I can write color, which is let's say some hex code. Now it is a number. I don't have hash sign there, but these are numbers, right? This is just a value. Now I can do it. I can assign a string there. I can assign a number there. I can assign any value. I can still assign array as well. This is not actually good, right? Once again, we are going back to JavaScript. So we don't want to go back to JavaScript now. We will restrict some type here. That's why all of the time your type annotation, your type inference will not work. Inference means inferring the value. So you need to annotate sometimes. That's why it is important to annotate sometimes. Sometimes it is okay to not annotate your type, but sometimes you need to annotate. Sometimes means if you are not declaring value initially, if you don't know the type, if the type is coming in future, then you need to actually annotate right here. At least you will know the type, right? If you don't know the value, you will know the type. For example, if you are writing favorite number variable here, you know the type. It is going to store number all the time. You don't know the value, right? That might be coming from your API, maybe database, but you know it will always store number there. Then what you will do is, I will annotate here directly. Now it is always going to store number there. So previously what we did is we didn't annotate. That's why it can store anything. If you know it will always store a string, then you cannot store number here now. You cannot store array. Okay, in such case, we will annotate our type. All right. Any confusion, guys? So we saw this operator, this character, to have multiple types. We can write this operator and have multiple types there, right? We already saw that. This is just a basics for TypeScript. Let's go with objects finally, maybe. So here with object, let's say I have first num, which is a number, and I'll write second num, which is a string. Now, what is the data type? The data type we are storing here object, and it is object now having this property. But if you assign it like a number, then it is not possible to store object there, right? If you assign it object, then it is fine. But we can do something more. If you write something like, let's say first number, first num, and it is going to be a number, and you have second num now, and it is going to be a string. Now strict validation is here, where your first num is always going to be a number. Let's try to make it a string. Now it will not work. Now we are actually validating the type for your object properties here as well with the syntax. Because we have an object here, we need to write curly brace here. And we have a first num variable, second num variable, which is matching the property name here. So if you have a number there, you can only store number. Once again, you can write union here. So now you can store string as well, right? Most of the time we deal with objects in JavaScript. So you may have thousands, not thousands, maybe 50 to 60 properties here in your real object coming from your API. Maybe you have more than that as well. Then you need to write 50 to 60 properties here as well. It will be not good, right? Your code will not look that much good. It is not readable. That will mess everything together. So what we will do is separate this out. So let's try to put this in a variable. Let's say, can I put this in a variable like type equals this one? Got it from here, paste it, and type here. No, it is not working. So it is not working. It is behaving. This is acting like an object. So you cannot store this types in a variable in this way. You cannot write type here. For that case, TypeScript is providing you a special, you can say, function, which is called interface. What you can do is, instead of writing type here, you write interface. And now you will not write equal sign here. You will write the name of the interface. For example, let's say this is like my OBJ. So now we'll not write const keyword as well. Remove it. Now you have an interface called my OBJ. So you will replace this type with this interface. Now it will work. Now we have this interface here. We have this type here. Maybe in your real React project, you will store this interface in some other folder, in other file. You will export it from there, import it here, and just use it here. All right. So this is the basic things that we need to know regarding TypeScript. Any question, guys? Until now, do you have some confusion?
No.
Yeah. Do you want to ask me something? Okay. Yeah. So this is the basic principle behind TypeScript. We have TypeScript interface and type. Let's see. Yeah, let's go here. And here we actually write our interface in this way. Name of the interface here and interface. But we can also do something like, let's go somewhere down. I'm just trying to see this one. What you can also do is, instead of making interface, you can also make type here. You can write type. Previously, I was writing something like this: const and obj equals this all, right? Let me look for this. I have this here. Previously, I was trying to do this. So instead of writing this obj here, instead of writing this const here, you can write type here, because this is type now, not a variable, right? So you can either use interface or use type. So there is no that much major difference between interface and type. Maybe we'll see some minor difference later. You can use any of them. Mostly interfaces are created, but you can also create type here, right? So what you can do is, you can now replace this my obj with obj, right? So yeah, you can also do type here. You can also write type and create your type with this type here instead of using interface. All right, so let's see some more things. Here we have something like, let's go from here. we have like intersections. So what will happen if you write like let's say instead of this OR operator here, something like OR operator, if you write let me go and create another variable maybe somewhere, or we have here, let me write and here. So this is like intersection now. So you will include both of them. So here, let me remove this one. So what is happening here is first name is missing. Maybe if we have this number here, so it is also not working. So we will have both AND operator here. So AND operator will accept this and this together. So the intersection together. So do you think we can validate it with some value so that this will work? By looking at this example, we have our name here, which is a string. We have our this is a person actually type. Let's see intersection example then with here. It will be easy for me to show you example first. Intersection in TypeScript. Yeah. Okay. So most of the time, instead of writing this keyword, what we will do is include both of them. So right here, writing this number and string will not work because we cannot store both together. But what we can do is, let's say this is object for, this is for first num or first. Let's just write first. Let's create another one. Let's create this is a second, and let's have this one here. Let's have first number is number and second number is a string here. So now what will happen, what we want is we want to use both of this together here. So here you can see we have a type which is an intersected type. We are using this from this interface and this one from this interface. So let's try to create one type which is intersection called object, and we want first and second here. Now what happened is it is including this and this together within this object. Now we are using it here. So sometimes we have some types coming from some other location, and we have some types here in our application. At that time, we will merge these two together and we will use it here. But if you write this union here, seems to be working, right? So we are using first with second. If you see here, first and second are coming together. So actually we need to implement it. This is just there in TypeScript. I'm just trying to let you know we have some more concept. Let's first see this concept with a union, and this is actually interesting, tuples, and I think this is all that we need to know. Let's finally see tuples, and we will actually set up our React application with TypeScript. Okay, we are just exploring the concepts together now. So what we are saying is sometimes what we want to do is achieve is we have an array here. We have an array, let's say. So this array will sometimes, let's say we have a condition. This will accept a number and a string. So let's say this is a variable string, maybe age and a name. And this will not accept more values in it, more than 2 elements. And the first element should always be a number. Second element should always be a string. Have you experienced such situation in somewhere else? Maybe in Python or Java, if you have worked there.
Maybe Python.
Yeah. Do you know what that particular concept is called? Yeah.
Python, I think it's called tuples as well.
Yeah, right. In JavaScript, we don't have tuples concept, but we will implement tuples with TypeScript. So our situation is we only want to have 2 elements. We cannot add more than 2 elements, but we can, right, currently. For example, if I write my array, my ARR, and push, I can push one more element there. It is working, but it shouldn't work, right? And the first element should always be a number. Currently, it can be a string. Second element should always be a string. At that time, what we will do is validate the type here. And what we will write is write a number here and write a string here. And just look at it. What is this? What is just happening? Just give me a second here. Guys, just give me a minute, okay? I'll just back in 1 minute. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I need to stop for a few minutes. Can you hear me, Deepak?
Yes.
Okay, what I did here was created a tuple. So this will now not accept more than 2 value here. If I try to push 1 value in here, well, it looks like it is accepting, right? Should we try? So we are in TypeScript now. Let's console log here. And so what we are trying to say is there are 2 elements here. The first element is a number and second element is a string. And we are trying to add 1 more. So let's see then. Maybe let me directly add here. Directly add some elements here. And it is not working, but I'm adding here from here. Not saying any error, right? So let's try to compile this back to JavaScript. We will have app.js here. We will do that by tsc app.ts. Okay, now app.js is coming. And let's try to run it here. Oh, it is compiling successfully, right? Maybe we need to push means adding something here, right? We are trying to add 1 element here. Compile back to JavaScript means it is working successfully. Now it will successfully add here. There will be no TypeScript in JavaScript. So here you will not have any type support. Only you will have type support here in this file. So essentially what we are doing is pushing something, but it shouldn't push as per our explanation, right? So it is actually doing what we need to see this in the browser. What is the output? So right now, let me comment this one and I'll set up the React project and we'll see this type tuples concept there. Okay. So tuples means what we will do is we'll set the type of variables there, and that shouldn't actually change. So this should be always a number, this should be always a string. So if you add 10 here at the initial location, now this is the first value, this is the second value. So there is error here. So it says number is not assignable to type string. If you make this a string, now it is once again not working. It says is not assignable. Now you have a 3 values here. 1, 2, 3 is not assignable to the 2 value here. So now let's see every of this concept in React and we'll implement in those concepts in React as well. We'll see what is the issue there with tuples. We'll also see how to configure this with our React project as well. So let's create another folder called React TypeScript. Okay, all of these are conceptual things. Now we are going to implement it in React. So once again, you can go with Vite. If you remember how we used Vite, you need to go to, let me just first go to React TypeScript. You need to use yarn command. We used yarn command, right? Is this a command? With Vite, go here and let's see and get started. And yeah, we use this command, yarn create Vite. If you hit enter, it will ask me the project name. I'm not going to create any other name. I'm going to be inside same directory. It is React. Now you need to select TypeScript here. You can see it, JavaScript and TypeScript. Now here we will select TypeScript. Okay, so initial files are here. We have 2 more files, tsconfig.json and tsconfig.node.json here with TypeScript with React project. So what we will do is first let's install the dependencies. This yarn command. And now let me start this application. It will work. Let me use yarn dev. Now everything is fine. We installed our React project in the same way as well, right? But what is the difference then? Now, if you see initially, we have two added files called tsconfig.json. Here we'll write the configuration for our TypeScript project. Okay, we'll see later this file tsconfig.node.json. This is required. So this is required because we need TypeScript support for our node environment as well. But if I expand this src, you will see the extension. Previously it was JSX, now it is TSX. Okay, so these are the difference now. Now what we can do is directly go inside app, remove everything from here, and now we can use TypeScript here. Let me configure it with prettier formatter. So here, let me use React use state hook, and let's have the structuring here. And initially, I just want to pass number 10 and number and set number. And let me display this number here. Here you can see number 10. Maybe this is because of that index.css. Let me remove all this. Here you can see number 10. So what happened actually? We just rendered the value, that is the default behavior. But if you hover over number, now you can see the type is number here. You can see colon number. It has now inferred the value from TypeScript. The type is, this is actually a state updating function, and you can also see what is the type of such state updating function, something like that. Okay, so it's like React or dispatch. We'll see some types with React, like React or dispatch. We have some other as well, but it is not a number. It is not a string. It is like this. The type is slightly different here, and it is a number. Actually, it is a function, state updating function. It is a dispatcher. That's why we have React dispatch here. But we can still, what we can also do is we can still annotate it. So can I do number here? Can I annotate type here? This is a destructuring. Okay? You will not annotate type here inside destructuring. But let's try to use here. Let's try to write number and or let's say we can write any as well. Now this can have this is of type any. But we can also write object here. So it says object must be of type symbol, have symbol.iterator, so it is not working. So we need to validate it if we need ourselves. So here, let me write something, string. So I'm writing this syntax here now. This is a new syntax that we haven't explored. So with this syntax, it is called generic actually in TypeScript. With this generic syntax, we are generalizing our React states here. Means, so this React state number should always be a number. Now it is a string. We are saying it is a string, but we are supplying a number. That's why it is showing you error. If you write a string here, it will work. So we can actually type this number from here. So if you write number here, then that number should be a number. You are passing initial value to be a string. If you have no value, then now this is working. If you hover over here, now can you see? It is of type number as well as undefined. Initially it is undefined, right? We don't have any value here. So in this way, you will use TypeScript here. But if you want to create, we are just exploring here some concept. If you want to create some plain JavaScript file, previously we used to create something called, let's go inside Frontend. maybe inside src, or I think inside we actually maybe inside state management, we created some JavaScript file only, my context.js, because this is Create React app, that's why it is supporting. Let's go inside basic React. Oh yeah, here. So here we cannot see any React code, right? We don't have any React code here. We don't have any JSX. React code means JSX. We don't have any JSX here. We only have JavaScript. That's why we wrote JS extension here. But if you copy this file into your TypeScript project, let's go inside 10 TypeScript, React TypeScript. I'm going to create another folder called utils. Inside util, let me create util.js. Now we can absolutely create JavaScript extension here. That is fine. That should work depending upon the configuration. We'll see this configuration. So here we have allow.js JavaScript. We will modify some of those later. This is like settings of TypeScript. This is fine, but with TypeScript, instead of writing JS extension, we will use TS extension for TypeScript. Now you can absolutely use your JavaScript code here. But here is now issue. Previously, your JavaScript was not able to find such issue, right, itself. Now it is finding some issue here. Can you see? Let's see what is this. str implicitly has any type. So it has implicitly, the type is any. So TypeScript is warning you, hey, you are creating a variable with any type. This is because of some configuration here. So maybe we have, let's see, something regarding any. Yeah, we are not writing it here. So what TypeScript is saying, you need to actually provide some value here. Type information for type here. Maybe you can write any, but it should have some information. That's why now it is working. Once again, we have some issue here. So it says that it is not working here. It says that this mapped peer is actually having any type. So, but any type is using something like this. It is actually using this index. It cannot do that. It is just complaining you about it. So this is what you need to fix. So let's not fix it right now. What I'm trying to show here is this is the same code we wrote in JavaScript. It was working perfectly. But if we write the same code in TypeScript, it may not work perfectly, because in JavaScript, we don't care about type, but in TypeScript, we need to care about type. That's why it is more robust, right? Your code is now becoming error-free. So it is essential to have TypeScript set up with your React project. If you don't have TypeScript support, then you will actually face a lot of issues. Maybe you will not see issues while you are creating your application. Maybe those issues may arise later. But with TypeScript, we will make sure that everything is working fine. All right. So now we'll start creating a simple project with TypeScript here. Let me delete this one for now. So let's refactor some of the things here. We didn't need this asset. Maybe I can delete this app.css as well, x.css as well. Yeah, I can go inside here and remove the import for index.css. And that's all. So we have another file called this envd.ts, but the main settings for TypeScript is this tsconfig.json. We will sometimes change something here. Okay, so these are the settings you can see. You can add some more here. These are compiler options. You can actually remove some of this from here as well. Okay, so if you change the setting, your TypeScript will sometimes show error or sometimes do not show error. Okay, so if you say that you want the target to be ES next, then your import export statement will work. export means we'll use import here, right? But if you say in your configuration, no, I don't want this ES next is actually the recent version, the next generation version. But if you say we want 2015 version, let's say ES 2015, and if you save it ES 2015, let's say instead of ES 2015, let me write ES 3. If I say ES3 here, now if I go here, something is wrong here as well, right here. So now it says if you have this ES3, ES3 means the version that came in 2009, I think. So at that point of time, you cannot use some of the other settings. So what I'm trying to say is you can control this setting and you'll see error sometime and you will not see error sometime. Most of the time you'll work with the next generation version, or you'll see sometimes ES 2015 is written here. So most of the time this setting will be either ES 2015. Instead of ES 2015, it is better to use ES next. Okay, so ES next is the next generation, means this is the current feature that we are using with TypeScript, you can say. The current JavaScript features are used. So maybe we'll see later when we reach there, what are these settings doing? Like currently you can remove it from here. You can have minimal settings here as well if you want. If you do not want these settings, you can have very minimal settings and save it, and you can add some of the settings later as well. Okay, so here we have something not working. So it says that JSX is not possible here. So not possible here. This is because of the other setting that we have in here. So this is coming from, let's say, yeah, module is also, yes, yeah, right here, I think. If you remove this one, now you cannot write this JSX statement here. So yeah, we control such behavior from TypeScript, what you want and what you do not want. Okay, if you write in module, like we have CommonJS as well. If I write CommonJS, if I save it now let's go to app.jsx. Seems to be it is working with CommonJS as well. Maybe let me reload this one. Do I have reload extension? But CommonJS means we will not use import export statement here. So that's why the settings will be most of the time here as well, ES next. So ES next means we are using cutting edge features of JavaScript. Right, so these are the settings. If you add, then the behavior of your project will change. So if you are seeing some issue here, then this might be because you have some settings there, as well as you need to actually improve something in your project. Okay, so everyone, are you able to create your TypeScript project? If you are doing together, is there any issue starting your project? All right, then. So we need to have we need to set up a small project, I think, because we need to have some understanding of TypeScript, because till now I just showed you what we have in TypeScript, the very basic features with TypeScript. But while using TypeScript, you'll realize how we can use those features in better way, so to make our application robust. Right, then maybe let's start one small project from tomorrow with TypeScript. And first, we need to finish the concept in TypeScript, and later we'll move to Redux. We'll see state management with Redux, and at the end, one particular concept in React testing will be left. We'll see that as well, and then we'll move to our final capstone project. We'll do a little big project there, which will include all of the concepts that we have learned till now. All right, everyone. So is this fine? Can we stop this session for today and continue tomorrow? Okay, so yeah, just try to do some of the things regarding feedback app as well. Some of the things that we have left here. And from tomorrow, we are starting from scratch once again. So just try to follow with me. We will create a simple project with TypeScript to explore conceptual things in TypeScript. Our main goal is to become familiar with all of the things regarding TypeScript, most important things mainly, right? So yeah. All right, then let me end this session here for today. Thank you so much, guys. I'll meet you tomorrow. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Thank you. Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Please fill the feedback form so that we can know that you're. Hello, everyone. Please fill the feedback form so that we can know the challenges that you are facing in the boot camp. So, yeah, thank you.